Studio A. I am your host for this evening, the Asgardian Nightmare, Spooky Thor. I'll be taking over tonight as James and Jessica will be celebrating their wedding anniversary, which is tonight. Wait, which is tonight? Didn't I already say that? Today's theme, witches. There's the reality and there is the fiction, the urban legends, the hysteria about witches, agents of Satan. You haven't seen Agents of Satan yet. But what is real and what is not? Well, this is not the video for that. We're here to just talk about four movies about witches. The classic 1999 movie, The Blair Witch Project, directed by Eduardo Sanchez and Daniel Myrick, starring Heather Donahue, Josh Leonard, and Michael Williams. It tells the tale of three film students in the October of 1994 who go into the woods of Burkittsville, Maryland to investigate the local lore of Ellie Kedward, the Blair Witch. You see the first part of the movie, they're just interviewing people and setting up the stage for you to see who this woman is, at least in legend. And then they go into the woods to try to, seek her out, see what else they could find. Maybe they had an idea, maybe they didn't. They didn't have what direction they were going after a while. As the movie progresses, they get lost, they get cold, they get hungry, they get incredibly hostile. And then this movie, a lot of people would have found to be boring. I find it to be one of my favorite horror movies personally, because this is definitely a movie for the overactive imagination, and that's exactly what I have. And also, it raises questions like, was it Ellie Kedward? Was it demonic forces in the woods? Was it just a group of crazy rednecks? No one actually knows. But the mythology that was built up around this was explained upon in the Sci-Fi Channel documentary Curse of the Blair Witch, which was fantastic. Honestly, made me both fascinated and scared to see this movie as a child. There is no way in hell I would ever take myself into those woods. Blair Witch Project, absolutely a classic. I could do a whole other video series just talking about this franchise, honestly. Overlooked movie is 2015's The Witch, or The Witch, if you want to be clever about it. Clever. Written, directed by Robert Eggers and starring the always fantastic Anya Taylor-Joy. Side note, she is really awesome as Magic in the New Mutants movie. And of course, it also has mid-card Game of Thrones actors, and this was the mid-2010s, so of course, Game of Thrones actors were just popping up everywhere and people were just going, oh my god! But the story's about Thomasin, played by Taylor-Joy, and her family getting kicked out of their Puritan community because her father's views were considered too extreme for Puritans. Her father's views, too extreme for Puritans. Puritans. And so, of course, they move out in the middle of nowhere near some woods, like you do, and a series of strange things start happening, which I'm almost kind of describing the Blair Witch Project there. Wait, is The Witch actually a super prequel to the Blair Witch Project? No, it's not. It's a witch story. It's a very slow-moving witch story, and this is definitely a reason why it was overlooked. It was advertised as just a straight-up horror movie, and it is not. It is a very slow-burning, honestly kind of hard to understand half the dialogue, very creepy atmosphere. It boggles your mind because apparently the message of this movie was sort of not necessarily anti-Puritan, but just a sort of commentary on it. Honestly, if I try to explain it, I'm going to jumble the words and confuse you. And watch this movie and see whose side you're on. Are the Puritans right? Or are the witches right? Guess you gotta watch the movie to find out. The in-between movie goes to The Witches, the 1990 movie based on the book from Roald Dahl. It's about a boy and his grandmother who are going up against a local coven. I'm not even sure if they really use the word coven. A group of witches, and in this particular universe, witches are bald, have square feet, have like hooks for nose, that old witchy chestnut. And apparently they really hate kids because to them, all kids literally smell like dog poop. The witches plan to get rid of the kids and to finally have some good smells going into their long pointy noses by turning the kids into inanimate objects or rodents and making their parents and teachers kill them without knowing that it's the kids. Witches aren't murderers, they're just using transfiguration. If the kids end up getting killed, then it's their own fault. That was bad. No, these witches are very evil. They know darn well what they're doing, and they are bad, and they're all led by the Grand High Witch, played by Angelica Houston, before she debuted as Morticia Addams in The Addams Family. Oh yeah, that Addams Family. The Addams Family. It was very interesting here to just, see somebody in here, this movie still killing it on the cusp of the greatness that is Morticia Addams. So check out 1990s The Witches, and if you'd ever be so inclined, there is a remake that I think by the time this video comes out will already be on Amazon Prime. The kids movie is 2001's Halloween Town 2: Calabar's Revenge, starring Debbie Reynolds as Agatha Cromwell, the matriarch of the Cromwell family, and this takes place in, of course, Halloween Town. Yeah, we get into Halloween Town 2. It's about 3 years later. Marnie's become a teenager. Agatha's just hanging out in the human world with her family, and it's getting to be Halloween again. So, of course, there's going to be all sorts of shenanigans with the Cromwell family, who are also apparently really big deals in Halloween Town and the whole Halloween Town world. And they let you know it, because they talk about the Cromwells like they're the McMahons, pretty much. And Halloween Town, where am I going with this? Involving the villainous Calabar. I won't try to give away too much like I feel like I probably just did for Halloween. But it's a sequel that pretty much hit right on. It just gave us a nice good adventure, just like it did with Halloween Town 1. All right, Pumpkin Patch, our haunt of the day is Erebus up in Pontiac, Michigan, home of WrestleMania 3. But we're not talking about Andre the Giant here. We're talking more like giant dragons that will eat you. And all sorts of good animatronics in this 4-story house that uses state-of-the-art Hollywood effects. And this is actually its 20th anniversary, and do believe it is open this year, but you can hop on their website to check. And it's been mentioned in places like the Discovery Channel and whatnot, but I didn't see any mention of it in the Travel Channel. What's going on, Travel Channel? By the way, with Erebus, if you live up around that area, most definitely check it out. So, Pumpkin Patch, that does it for all these witchy movies and large dragons. Be sure to click or treat, like, share, subscribe, ring that little bell so you're always notified when we drop new videos here on the Fall Horsemen. Remember to stalk us on our social medias, and thank you for riding with the Fall Horsemen, where Halloween lives and fall is forever. Bye, Pumpkin Patch. Bye. Have a good one. I loved it. The back thing, I don't know. But it's just very interesting. I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that in there. What's up? I guess Angelica Houston was, just getting loosey here on the break. Cut it however you like. Have fun with editing this, James. I hope I've given you a whole lot of good laughs at least. You get the picture. You get what I'm laying down right there. Okay. Had to think for a second where I was going with that. Halloween Town 2. Eat you. That's some blooper reel-ish for you. Wow, why did I have to think about that again? That's what the book says. I'm not making this up. Literally in the book. But it's just... that's not what this video is about. Totally worth it. You find out what happens to them in the end. So just let that rattle around in your head for a bit. On to the days of... Oh, dude, I'm gonna give you so much blooper reel. That's what we're here for. That's your little scary post-credits thing.